Hi, I'm Emma, and you're watching Our Baby Way, the 6 months update. And just as I was about to film this, actually like 20 minutes ago, Uhtred decided he was just way too hungry and didn't want to be a part of the video. And so I waited, but he is still eating, and he's just kind of relaxing. So we're just going to let him do his thing while I do my video, because sometimes there's not enough time in the day to create a video. And so I had time now, and I'm going to do it. So 6 months old has been really exciting. It just gets more fun every month, and it's weird that I'm surprised by that, but I am every time. I'm just like, it can't get any better, but then it does, and it gets harder too in different ways, and it gets more tricky, and certain things get easier, but it gets better every time. So that's really exciting. So now at 6 months old, Uhtred is 19 pounds, 4 ounces, which we looked it up. That puts him in like the 85th percentile, I think, for weight. So he's a pretty big dude, but not abnormally big. I mentioned last month, he's been doing a lot of like that kind of lip smacking, but he started doing, I think it's probably because he's definitely teething now, some like gum exercising. So he'll tuck his teeth under and he'll go, like that. He heard my sound and he had to stop and look at me. So he started doing that, and just today he started babbling. And I think him making that like lip motion and sound has actually helped him do the babbling, because he's been practicing with his lips. That's kind of what it is. So he just started saying like ba ba ooh ba ba ba, like the B's and the D's. Before he would just vowelly babble, but now he's doing B's and D's and like crazy stuff, and it's really fun. And he has kind of a raspy little voice because he's like really gutturally babbling, like he's almost coughing. It's really funny. So that's really new. He also in the past month has yelled some for fun, which is pretty exciting. So he started like yelling. He'll go through like a couple days where he'll yell a lot, usually when he's holding a toy and he's like kind of excited and stuff. And I mentioned also last month, oh, are you joining us? I mentioned last month that he was sleeping or waking up a lot more at night to eat. And are you done? Are you going to join us? No, you're not done? Okay. And I thought it was because of the cold. Now, I don't think that's the case, because even though it was still very cold, he just all of a sudden stopped waking up that much at night and started sleeping all the way through the night again, except like once or something, waking up. So I think it was a developmental thing, a sleep regression that I've read about, like starting at 4-ish months and going till 6 or whatever. And so he's back to that now, which is pretty exciting, because I feel so much more rested, even though I didn't realize I did. Or I didn't realize that I was maybe not as rested as I thought until now that I am more rested. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so rested compared to what I was before. He's also started getting really good with like his hands and maneuvering toys. So now his most recent thing is to hold toys over his head and look up at them to see what's happening, which is really fun. He shakes them a bunch, shakes a bunch of toys, shakes them over his head, shakes them over here, all around. He also started eating solids, which is really cool. So we fed him just recently his first food, which was an egg yolk, duck eggs, because we raise ducks for eggs. And that was his first food. And he's recently, a week later, he had his second food, which was some broth, but it was like a really thick, good gelatinous broth. And made out of chicken feet, which is like really good for a lot of collagen and gelatin and all that. And so it's almost like a Jello. So I've been mixing the egg and the Jello now, so he gets a combo. And he's been eating that. He's been eating some. He doesn't really have much of an opinion. He doesn't like hate food. He doesn't love food. He just is kind of like, meh, whatever. We're just hanging out. I guess I'll just swallow this thing. He's been pretty good at swallowing. You're goofing off now. Are you done? He's been pretty good at swallowing. In the beginning, he gagged a lot, but sometimes when I feed him now, he doesn't even gag at all. So that's been really fun. And it has changed his poops, though, which has not been fun. Because, of course, his food is egg. It's not like cereal or something, which is going to, kind of bind up his intestines a little bit more and slow down his poops and make them thicker. It's just kind of the same texture as before, but like way more explosive and like a little more liquidy. And they smell like eggs now, and it is like really not fun. I'm really glad we're giving him that as a first food because it's good for him, but it's not the most fun diaper situation. But I mean, I think that's always the case when solids happen. The poop is less fun than it used to be because it smells more, you know. Also with his hands, I think you're done, sweet boy. He's been trying out like the pincher grasp with just 2 fingers. Because before, you know, he was doing full hand grab. Now he's really trying to do this. Sometimes he ends up with 3 fingers, but he's getting really good at it, and he can't do it yet, but he's like definitely improving. You want to sit up and look at our buddies? So he's definitely improving. There's Uhtred. Uhtred. Chubby Uhtred. 19-pounder Uhtred. So he started getting good with his pincher grasp. And he's also getting really good at sitting. So he can't fully sit up on his own completely, but he can sit up pretty much on his own. And if he starts to fall over, he just kind of, you know, caves over a little. But sometimes I'll prop pillows up around him and let him kind of lean on the pillows. But he really has fun playing when he's sitting up. And so I'm really proud of him for that. But I can't like leave him to sit and expect that he won't maybe bump his head on the floor if he kind of toppled over. So I can't fully leave him without any props or anything. But that's been super cool because he also has much better posture even when he's doing that. You can just see the advancements every day. I said he's been teething more, so part of his babbling is like, la, 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 like some level of pain or discomfort. He hasn't been screaming. It's not bothering him much. It's just for like 5 minutes, and then I'll nurse him and he'll feel better. Like he just kind of gets hungry and his teeth hurt at the same time, and the nursing relaxes him a little bit. But he's been teething some. And he's gotten really good at holding on to specific toys and finding texture to chew. So he's getting really better with all of that kind of at once. And I mentioned last time that he drools a lot. But now he barely drools at all, which is one sign that babies are ready to eat solid food. And so I'm glad we waited to feed him, bless you, until now. Because I think it's a good time. Because now he's better at swallowing his own drool and the food he's getting and stuff. He's more aware of everything. More things are funny to him or kind of entertaining to him. Like if his dad comes in the door, he's kind of like, hey, buddy. He like flirts with him a little bit. He does a lot more social flirting, especially just among the family, which is really fun. He really loves watching the dogs and the cat. He's so into the cat. You can probably hear our dogs playing outside. It sounds like they're killing each other, but they're just playing. He's really into the cat. So like the other day, the cat came up and like petted himself on Uhtred's hand, and Uhtred was like, ah, ah. He was so happy that Dodger came up to him on his own. It was really fun to watch. He also, I mentioned he really loved being in that little seat that spins with the toys on each side. He still loves that seat, but now he prefers, I think, his booster seat, like sitting up in a chair with different toys in front of him. He likes to be a little higher. He likes to lean over the edge of the chair and look at the toy that's kind of hanging from a string that fell and try to pull it up with his finger. Like he's getting good at knowing that the string leads to the toy. And then also recently, it's interesting. He started kind of being more curious about like, kind of like why. I mean, he's not asking why, but like why questions, or like where. You can see him problem solving. Like, where does this milk come from? So like sometimes when he's done nursing now, he'll like lean back and look at my nipple and like pinch at it, like, does milk come out of this thing? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Versus before, it was just like, I'm pinching you because I'm feeling pinchy. But now it's like a focused, or like, oh, there's food on my spoon. Let me look at the spoon and figure out, where is the food coming from? You know, it's really fun. So he's becoming a problem solver. And he just gets more fun every day. So that's kind of his 6 months update. He's really smiley. He smiles so much, and I love it. Every time I leave the room and come back, he smiles at me like it's the first time he's ever seen me. Like, you came home, you didn't abandon me. Even if I just like go pee for a second and come back, he's like, oh, it's just fantastic. So that's his 6 month update, and we'll keep you posted, especially about his weight, because it's been fun seeing how very fat he is. And his hair's growing back in more. His eyes are still blue. I think they'll stay blue. All right. That's Uhtred at 6 months, and we'll see you at 7 months. Okay, bye.